I'm getting into I'm trying to find my medium in coaching right now. How was Kobe as a coach?
Kobe was good. He was always like, do it, no excuses, like 110%, always. Like, he's always like, go as hard as you can, every round, every rep, everything counts.
Welcome to No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. I'm Mike Botticello. Across the couch from me is...
Gilbert Arenas.
That's his name.
Do I talk in third person? Is that a third person?
You do when you're feeling yourself.
Oh, okay.
That we know.
Just checking. Me.
Hi,
You have to know you've done that before. And right next to us, this is No Chill history, go all the way back in the podcast. Mackenly Randolph, you're the first female on No Chill.
Serious?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, second. We had the bowler. Gigi.
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Okay.
Second. I mean, that's good too.
First female hooper.
Hooper.
Ooh, Hooper.
Hooper.
That's a big one.
And you are a hooper. Welcome. So, Mackenly, you come to LA recently, and you had a big year. Come to LA from pretty much growing up your whole life in Memphis. You're here. Your dad obviously had a great career in the NBA. Same draft class as you.
Yes.
2001. So you're here and you're entering Sierra Canyon as a freshman.
Yes.
Excited for that?
Yeah. Super excited.
Freshman year, I don't know. You're low on the totem pole. You got to work your way up, but
Yeah. I'm going to be up there, though.
that
I'm
we
going to
know.
work up there.
Because I think you have a unique style of play. There's a lot, we got to say, there's a lot of your dad in your style of play.
Yeah.
No coincidence there. So tell us about that. Where did you discover your connection to basketball?
Well, I always played since I was like little. Like, I always been involved in sports because of my parents. And I like soccer a lot. Like, when I was younger, like when I was like 10, I was like, I'm playing soccer. I don't want to play basketball. But then I started playing basketball. I was like, yeah, I like basketball. And I always went to my dad's games, and I liked watching him play, how he's in the post and doing all his moves and like juking him out, faking his fadeaways. I like playing in the post and like being able to distribute the ball to my teammates.
So really learning from your dad probably is the best education you'll ever get in basketball, as we've seen now. But you've also worked out with Agent Zero, which is a very special occasion when you get time with Agent
She
Zero.
thinks I'm a psychopath. She thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah.
You're not the only one, Mackenly.
He's definitely a psychopath.
It's a hooper. I don't do female, male, 6'5". I don't care what age group you are. Training is training. So if it's 20 push-ups, give me 20 push-ups, 10 sets, no breaks.
Literally. I'm like, can we get water? He's like,
So he's mean.
10 more. Yeah, he's pretty mean.
Not mean, it's just...
No, mean.
I don't know how to dial it down.
You're extreme, like you're OD. Like you're like, okay, 10 push-ups, 5 sets, no break, 20 sit-ups.
Yeah, what you need a break for? What's the break for?
To breathe.
What's the break for?
That's rule number one. You gotta be able to breathe.
Yeah, you literally have
First
to
thing.
breathe. I'm like gonna pass out.
But with Gil, his thing is there's an intensity when it comes to basketball. You can't compromise that. So as a coach, though, it's a little different because it's verbal intensity.
Yep, I'm getting into I'm trying to find my medium in coaching right now. How was Kobe as a coach?
Kobe was good. He was always like, do it, no excuses, like 110%, always. Like, he's always like, go as hard as you can, every round, every rep, everything counts.
Makes sense.
But what was his style? Was it encouraging? Was it demanding?
He was kind of in the middle. He was like, okay, yeah, keep going, but he wasn't gonna kiss your butt. He's not gonna be like, oh, it's okay, your foot's hurt. He's like, go play. Like, what's wrong? Just shake your foot and keep going. And he was like, he was encouraging. He was always there. Like, if you had a bad day, he's like, please keep your head up. But he was like pretty tough too. Like, conditioning, oh my God, he has no chill.
I remember we was watching you at the Mamba Academy. And everyone's like, oh, that's the Kobe's team. And then they were like, but their best player's on the bench. And I'm like, but the best player? It's like, yeah, Randolph is their best player. I'm like, why is she on the bench? I don't know. Like was that like a policy? Like, because I know you just got to the team.
Yeah, I was just on the team, and I was like trying to work my way up. Like you said, freshman, I gotta work my way up, and I guess he wanted me to because I wanted to be respectful of the other girls. I didn't want to, be mean or anything, so I just had to
Respectful.
Find my way.
Gil, I mean, smoke is coming out of his ears right now.
I had
Respectful.
to work my way to my spot. I had to prove myself. I mean, I don't know, honestly.
That's reasonable. You got to prove yourself always, but you shouldn't have been on the bench if you
That's women's basketball.
everybody.
I'm gonna sit here patiently on the bench, wait for y'all to sub me in, go in there
But at practice, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go hard and I'm gonna try to cook everyone and maybe he'll see I'm in the game.
That's a frustrating thing when you are somebody, because you were from another state, so the Mambas, the team that you had, they were all from California, some were from Orange County, obviously some from LA. You were here in LA, but they were familiar with each other.
Weren't you you were the only
one from LA.
From LA, everyone else was.
So I had to drive 2 hours to Newport every day to practice.
Because if you didn't go to practice, you didn't start, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm like.
So after school, that was a rough drive.
Yeah, for those people that don't know, LA to Orange County is a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
So,
at the beginning, I was like, Mom, I can't do this. I don't even like basketball this much to be sitting in the car for 2 hours to go to basketball practice. But then after we started playing, I started liking the girls and I started becoming familiar with his coaching, and I'm like, wow, I am playing for Kobe Bryant. I do want to drive. So it got easy. I just went to sleep, do my work. It turned into 30 minutes after.
I was gonna say you actually weren't driving.
I mean,
your mom and your dad were driving.
That's dedication though. If you after school 2 hours to drive there for 7 o'clock practice, 7 to 9, then you get home 11 o'clock every day, right? Yeah. That's that experience where you're sacrificing. Playing with your siblings, being at home, to drive and, attend practice, then drive home. That is the future of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the future of, understanding, some things you have to sacrifice for other things. We can't have it all. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things, if you want to be great, there's things that come with it.
Another part of that is because you're away from your family, your parents, your brother, your boyfriend, girlfriend at some point, what you really have are you're shaking your head at the boyfriend.
No boyfriend.
I'm not talking about right now.
Her dad is, right?
You know who her dad is. Zebo, no boyfriend right now. I'm talking about down the road. Down the road.
Yeah.
So what you do have is the bond of your teammates, friends. They're really your new family.
Literally.
You're with them so much. And the importance of having that team, and I think everything, obviously, tragically, what you guys went through, that the teammates that survive, what you have on your shoulders now is you're gonna play on and live on for them.
Right.
And that bond that you guys have. So tell us how important that experience is, and that perspective that you have as teammates.
Well, at the beginning when I first came, me driving, they were always like, you can stay, and I was like, Mom, I don't wanna stay, because, I was scared or whatever. But then I started practicing every day, and then I was like, yeah. And then we started becoming friends, and then we hung out all the time. And the bond is just different because once you bond off the court, it's way easier on the court. How they play, what makes them their type of player. When I hang out, me and Gigi, we used to hang out all the time, and I know maybe she saw something on TikTok or something, she gets mad, and I'm like, okay, so when on the court, if ref says anything to her, she's like, don't talk to me, and I'm like, Gigi, it's okay, chill. So it's better on the court because then you'll know and you'll understand your teammate more.
So let's say all things are, I'm looking at the glass half full, right? Thinking positive. We'll all be through this. You go back to school, you enter freshman year. What are your goals for freshman year as a basketball player?
To work my way up, to be playing with the big dogs, maybe get on varsity. I want to continue to build my skill level and work on creating my own shot. Because to me, I'm big, but to some of the girls I play against, they're big. And I'm like, I thought I was big. So when I get in high school, there's gonna be older girls, like way older than me. So I know they're gonna be big. So I'm not gonna be always able to dominate in the post. So I gotta work on my outside game also.
How do you speed that up?
Which
When
one?
you're younger, so say 14 going into freshman year or 18 going into freshman year of college, how do you speed up that process to where it doesn't take you so long to adjust to the competition?
Well, let's say there's no coronavirus right now. This summer, you will be playing 10th grade AAU. So you get to play against all the 10th graders, that AAU season. So you can get the speed and, the physical bumping and knowing if you can get your shots, against these girls and what you need to alter going into your freshman year. So like before I went to college, I'm playing in an adult league.
Yeah, that's what,
So I
like
can
playing
get
against
so I can get
older.
the feel of what, stronger, bigger, faster guys feel like so I can start adjusting my game. So once I get there, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Anything you're going to, there's always that prelim of, just like from JV to varsity. JV is let's get ready and we go, yay! It's the same thing, but what ends up happening is you guys have AAU before your freshman year.
Yeah.
So you get to get that feel and understand and, work out with that group.
And I have aunts and uncles that play basketball and they're older. So back a couple years ago, I was like, no, I don't want to play with you guys. I'm scared because they're big. But now I'm like, pick me up. I want to play. Come on. So that's gonna help me also playing against bigger people.
So you're trying to make varsity first year?
Yeah. I'm gonna try.
There we go. There we go.
But the other thing there is, though, freshman, sophomore year, say you can play JV and varsity for the most part. Like, you want to be varsity, junior, senior, obviously,
Right.
full time. But a lot of schools, they're have you on both squads. So the thing about playing JV, like getting minutes on JV, that's a great experience because you'll get reps, you can work on things, you can experiment, I think, a little bit more. There's less pressure, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. And actually use that on varsity for the big minutes, the real minutes, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's always usually scared of that ninth grade year for some reason. That's why I think a lot of kids are doing that holdback in the 8th grade to try to get more mature before they get into their 9th grade year, and then they can try to dominate. Everyone thinks it's important that I need to dominate my freshman year, like.
Yeah, but you're playing against 10-year-olds, like.
Yeah. That's what people don't understand. You're playing against 10-year-olds.
What's your point?
I feel sorry for women's basketball. Not gonna lie. You have to be part of the wave that changes the rules.
Yeah.
So that rule is this: you have 4 years of high school, and then you have 4 years of college.
Right. That's so stupid.
Like it's like you have to I don't know why it hasn't been changed and gave women basketball the opportunity to really leave out of high school if you're good enough. I mean,
right.
Or even leave college early.
Yeah, leave college early because the theory of any sport is your skill adapts to skill. No matter if you're 24, 18, 17, the skill learns how to adapt. So what ends up happening is if all female basketball players are entering their league, the WNBA, at 23, 24, that growth of a new style gets taken away. So you don't have let's say that age of a Zion and a
John Morant.
Yeah.
John Morant, the Trey Youngs, the Lucas. You don't get that.
In the WNBA.
You don't get it in the WNBA. So you don't get the young. So what ends up happening is 2, 3, 4 years into college, you're set. So if I take you and say, all right, I'm gonna take you out of your senior year and drop you into the NBA. 4 years you play against your college 4-year self. Who you think is a better player?
The NBA player.
The NBA player. So the growth of that NBA player leaving and learning faster, they don't
They're
get
not
it.
matching up.
You know, so you have to be part of that young wave that just knocks on that door and says, open up, we
Like,
want to come in
let me
earlier.
in.
We want to come in earlier. Because that was the one thing that I'm like, that's too old. You're messing up the game.
yeah.
You're messing up their game. You're not letting it evolve.
And the thing about women's college basketball that's so different is when you make that decision and go to a school, you're there for 4 years. Whereas you go to the NBA, elite program, and you can go one and done. Yeah, I'm going to a Duke or Kentucky, but I'm only going to be there for a year. For now, the mindset in women's basketball is I'm there for 4 years.
Yeah.
Better get used to it. So if I'm going to Storrs, Connecticut, or Knoxville, Tennessee, that's going to be my new home.
High school. You want to leave out of high school?
Yeah.
Let's make it now.
He's thinking that.
Tell her I'm straight pro out of high school. Don't.
I want to be a little kid to all the girls. Basically.
But that's the point.
Yeah,
You guys are older. You're gonna teach me at a younger age. So that means by the time I get to your age, I'm 10 times better than you.
Yeah.
That's the process of development that no one's paying attention into. Like, if you take 18, 19-year-olds and throw them into the ocean, they're gonna learn how to swim faster.
Right.
You know, you just naturally learn how to get better faster from a freshman to your senior. So your freshman year, you get to practice against a senior. Well, by the time you're a senior, your senior year versus what she was is no comparison.
Right, it's a lot better.
Yeah, so it's like, you have to get your group in. You say, hey, WNBA, I want to come in straight out of high school. That's the mindset. Out of high school, be the first one out of high school.
Put it out there in the universe. It'll happen.
Put it out in the universe.
And you look at the guys in the NBA that did it, that were, obviously Hall of Famers and successful that route. Kobe, Garnett, T-Mac. Those guys didn't come in and hesitate. They didn't flinch at 18, 19.
Look, you named some good ones, and there's also been some trash.
That's why I named the good ones.
There's also been some trash.
Focus on those. Well, because what's the difference? Those guys, perhaps, they weren't ready. They hesitated a bit. Whereas the Kobe's and the T-Macs,
yeah, you gotta go. Just
were
like
fearless.
freshman year, if you demand that you're gonna be on varsity, and that's your mindset going in, you're gonna be on varsity.
Right. You're not gonna get anywhere if
Because
you're
you're
like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Do I really want to try this? Like, you gotta go.
That's you. Is that you?
No,
Okay, just check.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Like, you want to play one-on-one? You can go.
So we'll take.
That's the funny thing I noticed about her, just being around her. That's what she like. I remember.
Don't say anything.
No,
crazy.
one of my boy players. She was like, "You're garbage, bro. I should have just got a jersey and played because I would have been way better than you. I would have had a dub."
Yeah,
Wait, what?
He was like, oh yeah, I got 10 points. I'm like, what? You didn't do anything.
10 points? I would have had 20. They were trash.
Literally, and they still lost.
Yeah.
Trash. Oh, that was
I was
embarrassing.
like, man, I need to put her in. Go ahead and put her on my team. I need that mindset. They suck over here.
Because I've seen you coach, that's the mindset in game is he wants fighters, he wants dogs.
You don't want to go in a game and be like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to shoot. I'm pass. Like,
and we all know that's a real thing. I mean, at every level too. Some people want to smoke. Some people just want to be role players.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be a role player.
They know.
No one goes into the game wanting to be a role player.
Some people are just
at a certain level, you find a role. You could be the man in high school, but you go to the NBA and
that's true. But no one goes into it like, hey, look, I've been practicing my whole life.
Come off the bench.
To wave that flag around, yeah, go team, go. Like no one's done that.
Yeah.
It just happened that way.
Let's capture this moment right now. Entering high school as a freshman, ready to make an impact. 4 years from now, leaving high school, ready to enter the WNBA. Ready to make an impact.
I'm ready.
So you got to start now. WNBA, I'm coming out of high school.
Straight
so whatever
for you.
rules y'all need to make them now.
Because I'm ready.
You see they opening it back up for the boys.
Right.
There's no
There's no difference between boys and girls except.
True.
No.
That is true.
Except what? Except the obvious?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just talking about hooping and sports.
Yeah, just that. Let's leave the basketball here.
Basketball, so.
Hooping and sports.
Okay, so I want you to take us inside the experience with Gil as a coach.
Not a coach.
A trainer.
Trainer.
No, coach.
Bodies.
Trainer.
The coaching style. All right, because I want him to learn something. How you respond to his tactics.
Well, like, I'm not a scared player. Like, if you yell at me, I'm gonna go do what you're telling me to do. Like he likes to yell, but I mean, like, I can take the yelling. But some players might get scared.
So let's consider your teammates. How about
my teammates?
how do they handle his wrath?
First of all, listen. If they're trash, they're trash. They're not gonna be playing anyway.
Like, as a coach, you're supposed to make them better.
You can't say that though.
Right, you can't say they're trash.
They're gonna cry and be like,
okay, he just said they're trash. Don't say they're trash.
Don't say they're trash. Cut that out.
Okay, let's try
You
this
can't call
again.
them trash.
Okay, if they're trash, right? What the hell am I yelling at them for anyway? Okay? I already know they suck. There ain't no point in even yelling at them. Why would you waste your...
But you continue to yell at them.
Yeah. So you want them to be better.
Okay, that was for a certain reason. That was for the show.
But in your heart, you want them to be better.
No. That was for the show.
You don't want them to quit.
I'm acting. Like, if this was a real game, first of all, they wouldn't even been in the game.
I don't buy that.
They wouldn't even been in the game. You thinking about that? They wouldn't been in the game.
Wouldn't been in the game.
That's what I said.
That's not
Like, if you're this
trash
10th, 11th player, you're not going into the game for me to even yell at you. That's not, no. That's not what we do here. If we're up by 20, the last 3 minutes, then there you go.
3 minutes.
There you go. That's how that works. That is
5.
That's how that works. So unfortunately, I was forced to play. So I'm gonna get on them to show them that
this is what the big dogs do.
There's a difference.
They can't always be the prize people.
Yeah, if I keep playing, listen.
There's projects. We all know there's projects out
If
there.
I'm playing my stars, do you?
So,
You sit there. Do you? That's how I coach.
yeah. Let them
Coach, I'm ready. Shoot.
But that's that star mindset.
Yeah, you can't have a star mindset. You want your teammates, you want your team to evolve and be an all-star team. So you gotta work their way up to become all-stars.
Okay, so listen, I appreciate the guidance but you can't force anyone to get better.
If they don't want to get better.
If they don't want to get better, they want to get better. Like, you have to be willing to actually get better. I can't get you better. Like, I can rebound for you, but if you're not going to be shooting, you do your work, you grocery shop, I help you cook the meal.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
I help you cook that meal of a game, and you go out there and you have the best dish in the world.
Speaking of coaches, you have a coach like Gil, but you also have a coach in your family that's going to be with you for life, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So you said, there's people that you could work with. You have an all-star NBA vet at home every day. Think of that advantage.
Yeah.
Do you think of it as an advantage, or you think it as dad?
It's in the middle because he gets annoying. He's like, I told you to do this. Why didn't you do this? I'm like, just leave me alone. Like, I don't want, when you have bad game and then somebody's like, oh, you did good, it's okay, but you were 0 for 15, and I'm like, shut up talking to me, and then he just like, I told you to do this, and he's like, okay, go outside and show me what to do at Ryan. I'm like, leave me alone. And it's annoying, but when we get in the gym and I'm happy, it's good. Then he can teach me.
When it's easy.
Yeah, so then he can just teach me, because then it'll be good.
I think you'll come around on that in a few years.
But if I'm mad, don't talk to me. Why do you keep telling me I did it wrong if I already know I did it wrong?
True.
It's annoying.
True, that is annoying.
If you haven't made one shot the whole game and they're like, oh, just turn your hand this way, turn your hand that way.
If that was working, obviously it would work, right?
Yeah, just
You know what? I just thought about that. That is usually the most annoying thing. When you already know you messed up and then someone actually points it out,
okay, I
thanks.
know.
I just said my bad. I just said that.
Exactly. And I'm
I'm
know.
open. I just said I missed you. I obviously I missed you, so I knew you were open. So you don't need to tell me you was open.
They just come when you get on the bench. I was open. I'm over here. I'm like,
But I think it only makes that worse when it's your parent.
yeah.
But I gotta say, if it once it's the dialogue. As long as the dialogue is constant, because you know where it's coming from in a good place.
Yeah. But like,
So that's why I think in a few years.
like when I'm mad
so bad.
and like I'm missing shots in the game, and he's like telling me like, "Come on, just try and fix your shot or whatever." Like I be mad at that point, but then I kind of listen and I kind of do it, and it be working. So
Well, I would say,
it be helping.
Dad,
Sometimes.
you're not
It'd
wrong.
be helping sometimes.
Maybe he doesn't have to be right every time.
Yeah, but he's just most of the time.
The thing about, like, you said 0 for 15?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, not me, but I just example.
Like, think of a basketball like this, or just anything in life. You don't want to be too high when you're making shots, like, yeah, man.
Right.
You know, those type of guys or girls, every shot they make, they in there running and just,
Like, you made a shot, great.
And then they get too low when you do miss. You want to be in the middle.
Right.
Because obviously, you know, you're not going to make every shot and you're not going to miss every shot.
Right.
You know, so it's like the best way to think of it is have short-term memory. Like, short-term memory is the best when you're playing sports because I made it, okay, next shot is a different shot. I missed it, next shot is a different shot. So even if you're 0 for 15, you're shooting the 16th shot like you're on fire.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're on fire, you know, so it's just part of the game. You're gonna have great games, you're gonna have bad games, you're gonna have amazing games, you're gonna have horrible games. It's just part of it. You just gotta mentally not. I don't remember if my dad yelled. Oh, I remember one time my dad yelled at me and and I had the nerve to say, "Well, if you can't beat me one-on-one, shut up."
You said it out loud like you wasn't.
It was
just
in the
talking
middle
to
of a basketball game. You can't beat me one-on-one, shut up.
And how old?
I was like 14, 15.
But I think that's when you have a parent that's in your ear at all times. At some point, you're gonna tune them out. I don't know what age or at what skill set you have to do that. I don't think it's playing. I remember when I could first beat my dad one-on-one, when he stopped playing me one-on-one. But is the idea that I want to hear from them, though. I want their feedback.
Yeah.
Well, as a parent, anyway, we're gonna give our advice because you got to remember we've experienced life, we've experienced ups and downs. So, you know, as a kid, you don't want to hear it right now because of the emotional, you know, what's the name? You can't father versus great advice. It's blurred. But, you know, as a parent, you're going to give the advice no matter what because you've been there. You know, even though if they don't want to hear, you still have to relate a message because you know it's going to sink in and eventually when the emotions come down, they're going to understand what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe even if you're telling me to shut the hell up, you know, later on, you know, like, what were you trying to tell me?
That's what I mean.
And then, you know, you showed a little film. This is what I was trying to say. So, you know, you know they're listening. You know it's coming in because obviously they told me to shut the hell up. Mm-hmm. So they heard it. They heard it and responded. So, you know, it's just one of those things where
it just takes a minute to.
Yeah, we as parents, I got to give you the information. Period. It doesn't really.
Well, as a parent, you always got to parent. But as a parent, as a coach, that's a different thing.
Parent and coaching is two different things. You know, you can't do both. You can't do both. You can't blur the line. You know, as a parent, like, let's say you're a parent watching a game. You either be a parent and then watch the game or be a coach and coach the game. Don't try to be both at the same time. You know, coach me as a player and
not your daughter.
Yeah, you know, it's like if I'm the best player, don't, you know, it's one of those like, you know, it's hard. It's hard for a father coach to really take that balance out because we have that idea that we have to be harder on our child so everybody doesn't feel like I'm giving them an advantage. In reality, it's like, well, technically, I don't really give a shit about your kid anyway. I want my kid to be the best. So, you know, but that's what we're thinking inside. But our actions are always, we're harder on our child, you know.
so people don't feel
So
some type of
people
way.
don't feel some type of way.
Meanwhile, I'd say you're the most proud of your child too.
Yeah, but I said that in our mind, we want our child to shoot every shot. Like, yeah, I want him to have 40. Like, I want him, shoot, don't pass the ball. Like that's what you're saying. But because everyone's watching, like, come on, man, what do you do? Go get him.
Yeah.
Go back in. Sorry, I really didn't want to do that. Just go back in.
Stop messing up.
Yeah.
It's all the voices though, because I think we all have our own voice in our own head. We're our hardest critics in a lot of ways. And like what you're saying with your dad, if he's telling you to, I don't know, spread your fingers or hold your follow through or something like that, that's another voice. Then you have your coach on the side, and then you have your teammates. It's like, oh, man, all these.
Who do you listen to more?
Probably my coach or me. Like if I.
Yeah, you gotta pick one or the other.
Like I don't know. It'll probably be my coach. Cause I'd be like, can you be quiet? Like my dad's yelling, I'm like, be quiet. And then everybody else is in the stands yelling. I'm like, what is going on? But I can focus pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, when we're coaching from the stand, we're not really coaching.
But it's
We're just yelling. We're just yelling.
Yeah,
it's just the yell.
What's the
it ain't really
point?
So that's easy.
You can't control that though.
Huh?
What's going on in the crowd?
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is like as a parent, when you're in the crowd, like, yo, shoot the ball. Yeah, they're tuning that out. They don't. We're not even. Coaching.
But you could tell your parent. You could tell your dad, hey, shut up.
Yeah,
you can.
I'm like,
that's the one you actually can't control.
Yeah, you can.
I'm like, can you stop yelling? Like, what's your point?
Your coach though is always going to be.
Yeah, I'd probably listen to
constant.
my coach the most.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good answer too. That's the answer for someone that's ready for the WNBA straight out of high school. So you said when you were watching your dad, you were watching, for his footwork, his face, things like that. But also, who are the other guys that when you were learning basketball, you were taking from when you were watching at that level?
I always watch Damian Lillard for some reason. He's always been my favorite. And right now, my favorite is Kawhi. Because I just like the way he just plays. Like, he plays so. I like his no emotions. Like, I like how he doesn't show any emotions. And he just goes hard.
Okay, here's a good one. Who's your favorite female basketball player?
I don't even watch girls basketball.
Yo, that is the biggest thing.
I don't even watch girls basketball.
That is the
problem.
No, that is the actual answer.
Like, I don't. I watch some
Okay, I would say
college.
this. You do need to study the competition though.
No, that is the thing. Like,
It's like boring. Like,
Female-
everybody plays the same.
female.
You were raised on the NBA though.
No, what I'm saying, if you go to female hoopers all around the country, college, they do not watch.
We just play.
They watch the NBA. They watch the NBA only. And that's why I asked, like, who's your favorite? And most of the, like, if you've asked most of the female college players who you watching, I don't know. I watch Kobe, I watch, you name 100 NBA players and not know 2 WNBA girls. Because they all say the same thing. That's boring.
It is.
Because the style you're playing, when you're playing it, it's never boring. When you're watching it, it's boring.
NBA is just like a little interesting.
Yeah, because it seems faster. Even though
dunking.
What's so funny is even though women's basketball is way more aggressive.
Really?
What? It's like prison basketball. You guys are rough. It's like elbows and I'm like, oh my, it's.
Always got an elbow.
Yeah, you guys are like straight 80s and 90s basketball.
I was gonna say it's more 80s in prison.
Like, yeah.
More 80s prison.
Yeah, there's like.
I don't know what
it's way more, like women's basketball on each level is more physical than boys basketball.
Yeah.
And also it's less vertical. So things like ball movement, spacing, those come into play more where I could see that's boring, I guess, in a sense, but there's a lot more.
It's like not a lot of
technique to it.
crossing, like, like in the NBA, you get crossed by like James Harden and step backs and like, I don't know.
I think my theory is that 4 years of college.
I'm be crossing them.
It's that 4 years. It's like it's like building a bunch of Shane Battiers for women's basketball.
Oh, he hates Duke players though.
No.
It's always got to be a Duke player.
You didn't even know who that is?
No, actually I do.
A 4-year player. He wait 4 years and then he comes into the NBA that's what all WNBAs are doing. Just
Journeyman or role player?
who?
Battier.
Role player. You know, so it's like you don't have that. You don't
He figured out his role when he got to that level.
No, you figured it out in college. That's why you stayed there 4 years. I'm saying that's why. Let's say you're just this high level kid coming in and you're going into college for the first time. I would want to just throw you right into the WNBA. I wouldn't want you to go to 4 years and learn how to play this methodical game. I want you to put your excitement and throw it now at, 18, 19, you're learning from the top tier, players already. So now you're absorbing all their information at 19. At 19, instead of absorbing all of college basketball in a system, and this system, and then this system 4 years, and then this system, and then going to the draft, it's like, there's 4 years of, becoming a Ferrari because you're excited, you're Prius. You're becoming this Prius, this electric Tesla car that's like dropping into the WNBA. They're missing that cycle.
The hype.
The system creates system habits. Comfort. So let's run some game recognizes game. Who should Mackenly be studying? She talked about who she likes. Who do you think she should watch?
See what this answer is gonna be.
In WNBA or?
Well, she just says she watches the NBA. She doesn't watch the
Yeah.
Let's stick with what works here.
Yeah.
No shade.
To like the WNBA, because
But you say you play like your father, but you're just right-handed.
Yeah. But I don't want to watch him. I want to watch somebody else.
Watching him your whole life.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Like watch somebody fun or
What?
like I don't know. Just name another person. That's not.
You didn't see his stats?
I mean,
buckets after buckets.
Just go to the next person.
Go to the next person that didn't get buckets? All right.
Okay, that got buckets, but wasn't my dad.
Go to the next person that didn't get buckets like your dad. Okay, let's go backwards now. Joel Embiid?
Okay. He's like, okay.
He's a giant.
Yeah, he's like
That's
really
a tough
big.
one.
He just does the same stuff.
Pump fake, drive,
Yeah.
boom, footwork, fade away.
The same
Isn't that
thing.
your game?
7-footer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that is your, like you said, that is your game, right? She wants me to say something like, yeah, play like Steph. She's like, yeah, you right, I do play like Steph.
But I mean, like, it seems kind of boring to watch.
I got one I was thinking of, because I've heard you talk about him before. Antoine.
Jameson?
Because of his unorthodox style. There's a lot to learn from, you can't coach that.
Who's Jameson?
Antoine Jameson.
But the tricks that he used.
Put on your team.
Don't like that?
Nah. I think I'm just had to
He was a
stick with my
20 and
dad.
10 guy.
Yeah, see, yeah, now she want to go back to her father.
He was a 20 and 10 guy.
Pops. Huh?
He was a 20 and 10 guy.
He's doing it.
So you got buckets.
You're gonna be your own person.
Okay, Gil, you know what time it is?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, what y'all doing? Yeah.
That's a new thing.
Okay.
Someone's been preparing for this one.
Okay.
It's Ask Agent Zero time. Mackenly, what do you got?
So my question is, what is it like playing against my dad?
Playing against your dad. Okay, so playing against the left-handers was hard anyway because, you're used to, as a righty, you're used to pushing everyone to your left hand. So it's, left-handers usually have an advantage over right-handed players. So your dad always had this move on that left block where when he turns and face and he gives you that jab and then he goes over and jabs. For some reason, I tried it as a right-handed player, it doesn't work. But when he goes over, the way you play defense, he can fade away. So it was really hard to guard his fadeaway. Because your dad has a reputation being crazy, you didn't want to foul him. I'm not gonna foul. I don't want the reaction of fouling him. So you had to play Zebo a little bit different, But he was he was passive aggressive. Like he was really chill, Like when people ask me, like, yo, I was playing with Zebo. Like, Zebo's, it's like he was chill. He didn't really,
He's
like
normal.
he was normal. Like you didn't really think that he was like aggressive like that. Like I remember we're playing in a game, we're playing against, so I'm on Memphis, we're playing against the Clippers. So he gets fouled really hard, right? He turned around and he was getting ready to put his hand around
Blake
Matt
Griffin?
Barnes' neck.
Matt Barnes.
He's like, man, I thought you was Blake, boy. I was about to choke you, baby. But you know, it's you, so you cool. Boop, boop. And I'm like, did it? And he was, oh, okay. It was just one of those things that like he says it with such a smile and calmness, and just like, yeah, I just gotta stay away from you. You know, it's just like even, you know, when I was playing in Memphis the whole time, never seen him get mad, never, like even in the locker room, it's just quiet, just never really.
Really? Quiet?
Yeah, just.
So he didn't talk?
Yeah, he talked, but it was never like, there was never no.
Was he annoying?
You know, he talks, you know how he talks, you know, his slang, you know, but for the most part, like you know, like when you get in the locker room, everybody's mad, like pass the ball. There was never no, man, pass me the ball. Like you see me open, like it was never ever. Like it was just weird. It was just never. It was just. He's like, hey man, like I'm a little bit open sometimes down there. Just go ahead and feed the big fella. All right, I got you. Trust me, I got you. Like you know, because you know from the years you already Zebo. Like I got you. Trust me. Like you know, but it was never on no aggressiveness. It was just weird. It was just he was one of the players that was just. His reputation versus who he is in real time doesn't match.
I guess.
Like you would think like, okay, he's a hothead, he's aggressive, but like no bullying, just come on, get up, don't worry. Just, you know, if you see me open down there, just, you know, just give it to me. It was like you just, do I give it to you like
every time,
or because I'm used to shooting every time, and you know, I don't want to go back to the locker room and then I have to answer for all the shots I took versus the ones I passed. So I'm just gonna give it to you. Okay, if you see me open, just hook me up. You know, you know. So it was fun. It was a fun experience. I was just hurt. So it was just, you know, going to the locker room, understand everybody's personality. You know, me and him came in the same draft, so. You know, just watching each other grow was like really.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And to bring it all back, full circle, we talk about teammates and being friends and the importance of chemistry as teammates, where you might think you know someone and it's an assumption, and they're like, oh, actually, yeah, they're way different. They're cooler, right? Or you didn't want to let them down. Like that's the moral of that story was he didn't say much, so you knew, didn't want to piss him off, because when he said something, he meant it.
That was it, probably, yeah. You know, but it was just like, the Zebo that, you know.
That checks you out.
Yeah, it's like, but even his checkouts, like when they're in a game and he's fouling and talking to other players, it's never that aggressive, like that aggressive tone. It's always the, yeah, you know. Like you remember on the what's the name, in my hood, we bully bullies.
Oh my God, bullies, I don't know.
Yeah, but like the way he says it is like, that's kind of, he didn't say it aggressively, but we know what he's talking about.
That's almost worse.
Like
it's almost worse. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Why so calm? Like,
why you so calm?
Be mad.
Everything you know about Mackenly at this point, what do you want to see her accomplish next? She gave us her goals, you give her a goal.
To bring the attitude, you know, that you have this whole time into your freshman year. No matter, you know, what level, you know, I don't even know if they have B's and C's anymore. You know, JV, varsity, understand whatever the road is as your freshman year, you still have another year, So, you know, so it's just getting better, understanding how to get better, you know, understanding there is a process to everything, and find ways to speed up the process by still understanding that there is that process. So like when you were saying earlier that I wanted to be respectful to the girls and do this, but understanding that in practice I'm gonna kick y'all ass, so
Yeah.
he can see that I'm 10 times better than you guys. So, you know, so
I didn't say that.
No, but so if he
But
put me in with 5 minutes left in the,
I'm gonna score more than y'all score.
now he's putting me in with 8 minutes left. Now he's putting me in 9 minutes left. Now it's tip ball, sub. You know, it's like, you know, you jump ball, we get the ball sub. You know, just to understand that, you know, you just have to find ways just to get better. That's all that really matters. Just getting better every single day. So.
Okay. So I'm gonna have that 40-point mindset, like first day.
That's what when I went into the NBA, I'm number 15 on the bench. When I did practice, no one got the ball. You knew if y'all don't want to listen, if you want me to pass the ball, you would just sit me back on the sideline because as long as I got that rock, I think I have an advantage in my mind. I think this is an advantage moment right here, and that's how my mindset was. So when coach subbed me in, I already knew what he wanted because there was only one thing I was doing. When I came into the game, when I came into practice, I was just chucking shots. I'm shooting. So if you said, Arenas, get in.
I'm shooting.
Shooting. Like it'd be like 2 minutes, 8 shots. Like it was 2 minutes, I took 8 shots in 2 minutes. Like,
Okay.
1 for 8, 2 for 8.
See, in his mind, that all makes sense. His teammates probably thought he was a ball hog.
Yeah.
No, but teammates, you gotta remember, they've seen it in practice.
Right. Since day one.
Since day one, I established what I do.
Ball hog.
You know, is it?
I mean, you're scoring, so.
I mean, but is ball hogging really ball hogging?
Not really.
If you practice
It is, I guess it's not
Right.
ball hogging when it works.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
ball hogging to me is this. You don't train on what you're doing, and you're out there doing something you don't do.
Yeah, like it'd be new.
You know, that's ball hog. Like Patrick Beverly, right? He's not a scorer. But ball hogging for him is if he was taking 15, 20 shots a game. Like, whoa. That's
You play defense.
you know, but if you're training and doing what is James Harden, he's not ball hogging. He's perfecting that. That's what he is skilled at. Like there's no ball hogging there. That's quality, great shooting from a great player. You know, so look at it like
Yeah.
that. I do what I do.
Simple.
Do what you do.
Do what you do.
All right. For not a ball hog, 40 points a night, Gilbert Arenas. I'm 40 points a night in my mind, Mike Botticello. Thanks for coming on. No chill show.
Hey, that's bad when you get chuckles. You got
was a
chuckles
good-
from
it was-
an 8th grader.
actually, no, it was
bro.
great.
You got
It was a good
chuckles
joke.
from an 8th grader.
It was a good joke. It worked.
She chuckled at your game.